Another note from the Cowboys. Cowboys superstar pass rusher Micah Parsons. It's kind of a twofold thing. You guys know I do my other show, DLLS, Cowboys podcast, and one of my co-hosts over there is the former, he's a beat writer, but he works for us now, Clarence Hill. And he went out to Micah's event. He had a bowling event last week for charity, which is a great, great cause. And kudos to Micah and his people and his family for putting on that to help those less fortunate. And so that's a great thing that Micah does in the community. And a lot of players do, but, this one in particular, Micah doing in the community. And so, while there, Micah got a chance to talk to some of the reporters, and reporters ask questions. And, the main thing that comes out with Micah, and I don't know if I've talked about this I personally, and I got to make sure I say this right. I don't want to be a hypocrite. I don't want people coming after me. I don't want to piss off any more people in the Parsons family. I don't have a problem with Micah's podcast. Personally, I don't. With the podcast itself, with the form, like the formation of him having a podcast, I personally do not have a problem with it. In fact, I don't mind it because he's gonna give us topics to talk about. He's going to create buzz for us to talk about. So for that reason, he helps me. And I'm okay with that. Now, the problem that I do have is it's what he says at times in the podcast that I know ruffled feathers, as you can tell, by the way that Tank Lawrence exited and the things that he had to say. It ruffles some of the feathers in the locker room. And especially when you're losing, or you're demanding or commanding things from other people that you aren't doing. Now, I also believe in the words of Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson said, everyone gets treated fairly, but not everyone gets treated the same. That's just basically code word for, if you a Pro Bowler, if you are a nominee for all first team All Pro, or a defensive player of the year, offensive player of the year, or the best at your position, you will get treated fair. Everyone in the room will get treated fair. But him, he gets treated differently. Everyone will have an opportunity to do what you're supposed to do, but he will have more. He won't get yelled at. He won't get scolded. He won't get fined to miss a bus or plane or be in his hotel room not at curfew. Yeah, we all get treated fairly, but we all don't get treated the same. And so for Micah, being the greatness that he is, and he is great. Yes, you are Micah Parsons. You are bona fide great. Absolutely, the talent is undeniable. It speaks for itself. But there are times when you're telling people to be where they're supposed to be and do what they're supposed to do that they'll look at them and go, but you're not that. You're not doing it. And because you have such exceptional talent, it sometimes gets overlooked. And that's just the way that it goes. But I personally don't have a problem with Micah's podcast. And Micah made a comment about it in an article written by Clarence Hill at All City Network DLS Cowboys podcast. He just talked about, said, you know what? Some people drink, which Micah doesn't. Some people smoke, which Micah doesn't. He said, I just tweet. That's what I do. That's his vice. And you know what? Have at it. Have at it. Keep creating content for us. And in true fashion, Micah tweeted. Now, if you remember back towards the end of the year, and I know that football is very fluid. Things change. Yesterday's price is not today's price. But back in like December-ish, January-ish, Micah was out talking about his contract time, right? About getting paid. And Micah, made it very clear that at that time, the going rate, I think, was 35 million at that time. And Micah was saying, hey, I don't need to have 35 million. I'm cool with 30 if that means I'm going to go get that they're going to use that money to go get some other players, so I'm not double and triple teamed and chipped all the time. And I told y'all back then, I was like, that's Micah talking. And then there were reports that came out from inside the Parsons family about deals getting done and stuff like that. And if you read the article from Clarence Hill, they'll even talk about it even more, because he talked to his agent, David Malugeta, at that particular time, that David Malugeta has yet to talk to the Cowboys about contracts. Now, what the Cowboys like to famously do is they like to bring the player in for a conversation. See, this is the trick that Jerry and Steven try to run. They try to get you into the room and they try to kind of ha-ha, he-he, chum-chum. We love you. We like you. We want to be forever. We're family. We're family. And they get you in this room and they wine and they dine you and they tell you all the sweet things that you are, and they whisper sweet nothings in your ear and about how you're the absolute best. And then they try to offer you a bad deal. And so while reports say that David Malugeta, his agent, has not formally talked to the Cowboys about contracts, there was a report that Micah talked to the Joneses about contracts. And of course, I told you guys back then, I was like, Micah can kind of say what he wants. And I get it, the agent works for him. But if you remember back, Dak talked about when he was getting his deal, he said, I owe it to myself and I owe it to the other quarterbacks around the league to get the very best deal. Because this is why you see players from the Players Association come out and say, I'm not going to let you take that slave deal. Because what you do now is owners, when they say they're looking out for the best interest of the team, it's never true. It's never true. Yeah, they are looking out for the best interest of their team, not the persons who make the team. They're always looking out for the best interest of their wallets, their pocketbooks, their bank accounts. Keep telling y'all, it's a business. And it's the agent's job and the NFL Players Association job when you have contracts like Micah's about to get. He's about to get the richest non-quarterback contract in NFL history. I can't let the owners off the hook. Not just because of Micah, yes, because of Micah, but for the Micahs that come after Micah. For the potential in the next couple years, Abdul Carter, in 5 years when he gets to the table, guess what? His deal should be record-breaking. He should be able to stand on the money shoulders of Micah Parsons' record-breaking deal because he took the right deal and the agent got him the right deal and wasn't swindled out of a deal. And that's how you keep growing from the player side of things. See, that's the part that some of y'all fans don't understand. Y'all want to call folks greedy. Y'all want to call folks stingy. And not stingy, but selfish and greedy and all that kind of stuff for getting their money. No, it ain't just for me. Yes, it is for me, but it ain't just for me. It's for the guys that come after me. It's how we continue to keep the owners honest. Because if the owners could pay less, they would. You saw they did the running backs. When the value of running backs went down, the owners didn't say, well, you know what, guys? Here's a fair market price. No, they said, oh, y'all go down? Okay, cool. We ain't got to pay them. We not paying them. Running backs' value dropped, and they stopped paying them. They stopped paying them. Remember, what they gave Zeke and guys like Zeke and Kitchen McCaffrey, they ain't paying them folks like that no more. So Micah talked about, I don't need 35. I'm good with 30. I'm good with 30. I don't need to be the highest paid. And I told y'all then, I said, David Malugetta is a shark. And he's a great white. He's a great white. You look at some of the biggest contracts in football. I mean, he was the one that got Deshaun Watson $230 million guaranteed. Unheard of, while he was still pending a case. Unheard of. No quarterback had ever gotten that much money guaranteed, ever. And this is a dude who was coming off sexual assault charges. Was in the middle of a sexual assault case. Multiple sexual assault cases. $230 million. You know who are the 3 highest defensive backs in the league? Jalen Ramsey, J.C. Horn, Derek Stingley Jr. Take a wild guess who represents them. It ain't Drew Rosenhaus. And no knock at Drew. It's David Malugetta. So when Micah was talking about, I don't need that, I don't need this. And then the market changed. I get football fluid, I understand. Then all of a sudden now, the Cowboys waited. And then old Max Crosby got a deal. And the Cowboys waited some more. And then old Myles Garrett said, I want out of Cleveland. Want nothing to do with Cleveland. I want to get going. Somebody else come save me. Cleveland said, hey, psst, come here. Now you're going to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the league. He said, oh, Cleveland, this is for, that's what Myles Garrett went for. Cleveland, this is, he went the land. He back in the land. You think David Malugetta is going to walk away from the table? Micah Parsons, who's younger than Myles Garrett and is playing at a level of Myles Garrett, or if not better, at times. Not the run defender that Myles Garrett is, but for sure the pass rusher that he is. You think David Malugetta is going to take anything less? And so I love Micah does what he does, and he tweets because doesn't smoke. That's cool. Doesn't drink. That's great. But he tweets. And so he tweeted a couple days ago. He said, some of these agents don't have the best interest for y'all, man. Wake up. David Malugetta has shown time in and time again. David Malugetta is showing it time and time again. It's sad seeing some of these players get violated by teams because of lack of decency and effort by their agents. Yes. Yes, Micah. Translation. David Malugetta said, hey, Micah, come here. Sit down. You know how you are regarded as one of the best on the football field? And I let you do you. And I don't say nothing. I just work behind the scenes and do my thing. I'm the best at what I do in this agent field. So what I need you to do is not talk any more numbers about what you will take, what you won't take, what's a good deal. And keep your family quiet about these deals too. Let me do what I do. Let me be the Micah Parsons of this agency thing, this agent thing. I don't need your help. I get it. I know that you want to play to the fans and let them know and kind of just do opposite of what the Cowboys do, because the Cowboys try to get out in front and say the players are being greedy. It takes 2 to tango. I know what you're trying to do, but stop. Don't do that. Let me do what it is that I do, and you're gonna be a very rich man. Somebody puts out the tweet, which by the way he should have had David Malugetta do his boy also Diggy do his contract, because boy, his agent got taken out back and worked. But everybody ain't David. Everybody ain't the shark. And so I love that Micah tweets, but that tweet particularly was funny to me because, yeah, you don't want 30. And that's cool. The numbers have changed, but I bet you don't want 35 either. You want the record. And that's fine. And actually, you deserve it. But let David do what he do. Hey, David don't need your help. He don't need your help. But this was a good moonwalk. It was a good moonwalk off your original statement about what you wanted and didn't want to do.